Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to go over uranium daily update, technical analysis. And we saw that dollar drop today. The dollar dropping is going to be a tailwind behind a lot of our commodity investments. Energy went up. Natural gas went up 4% today, I think. Another very large day for natural gas. Oil was up. And I think that's going to drag uranium up with it. It's all tied together, this entire energy sector. And I saw solar even was up. So I think they're all tied together from the energy standpoint. Uranium is looking pretty good. I'm going to show you a whole bunch of different charts here. We're going to go over it. And I don't think we're heading back down. I think the buying pressure and the buyers are in control. And we're going to be getting, if the dollar remains weak, that's our tailwinds. And I'm seeing also copper change, which is a huge benefit and benefactor to the readings that solidifies the readings a little bit better. It's not just energy going up, it's copper going up, it's other commodities going up. So the whole sector of commodities is going to be in a huge push higher if that dollar falls. So if we see the dollar continuing to fall, and we just broke out of an uptrend in the dollar, it's going to be a tailwind for all our investments and uranium. So let's get in here. I'll show you what we're looking at and why I think uranium looks like a very good spot to be in the short term here and the long term. But in the short term, it's looking real good. So here's uranium price. We'll start with that. We were up 0.45% today. We are in an uptrend. It is still looking very good. So North Shore Global Uranium, this is the ETF. This is the best way to gauge the overall sector of uranium, in my opinion, especially the mining companies, I should say. We broke the downtrend here. Clear break. We've got a bullish piercing, which usually is a bottoming pattern. If you back up before this, we come to this bullish engulfing, which started this whole move. Bullish engulfing, we popped higher. Bullish engulfing, slow leak off of sellers. The small down days and the slow leak off of sellers. We put in a bullish piercing. Usually what you see is a pop higher, a slow leak off of sellers, and then you see a massive move. I think we are in a big move that's coming. We are in the beginning stages of it. We broke the downtrend, which means we've got less resistance. We broke that resistance there. We usually have a day or two pullback. We only had a day little pullback and it didn't pull all the way back. The buyers are pushing this higher. We've got volume stepping in. This would have been the spot to accumulate is all through here. This is the lowest risk entry point that you can have would be today and yesterday. This is what I consider to be the lowest risk. I was buying a little bit before that just because I'm a believer in uranium and the valuations are incredibly cheap. Now we've got technical, basically confirmation that we're most likely going to move higher here. And it doesn't mean that the next trading day will necessarily be higher. We could still have a down day or two. I look at that as buying opportunities because we're early in this move up. So it looks good, looks very good. And this is this lead in here is a trait that it was coiling up to launch higher. And here we are continuing to move higher and the buyers are there. CCJ, same thing. Broke the downtrend, buyers are there, looks good. Next Gen Energy, same thing. We're getting confluence everywhere. We got the little hump and the push through. I didn't even see a down day here. This is really strong, guys. That's good. Very good. Fission Uranium, we're right here. And some of these are laggards. So we've got leaders and laggards. I just looked at the leaders here. Leader, leader, leader. Now we're looking at some of the laggards too. And I like buying the laggards sometimes. Fission Uranium, bullish engulfing pattern is going to move higher, I think, with a bullish piercing here. Them up and over, the shot higher. We paused at its resistance area, bullish engulfing pattern. That's exactly what we want to see for a move higher. URG, bullish engulfing, probably going to move higher here. Denison Mines, almost a bullish engulfing, but it looks good. Looks good. We had a bullish engulfing here, so there is one in there. Encore Energy, coming on back. And remember, I'm just looking at patterns here. We kind of came up and over. came up, small 2 down days. I think we're going to see a nice, hopefully, move higher here. And we're breaking this downtrend here. So we broke the downtrend. So it looks good to move higher. Deep yellow. I bought deep yellow today, guys. This is the one I bought. I bought it when it was down, and then it ended up. So I made a good amount today. I was looking for that down day today. It didn't close down. It created a hammer pattern. I do think this could potentially move on up, but I bought deep yellow today myself. Global Atomic still hasn't broken out of its downtrend, but if everything else is breaking, I don't see why this would not break this downtrend here. So I'm looking for a move higher. Goviax broke its downtrend. It's probably going to move on higher. I do own quite a bit in Goviax myself, just to let a disclaimer. Actually, I own a lot in all these. I've been accumulating. Bannerman. Bannerman broke its downtrend, looking fantastic. I think we're going to continue higher. And again, when I say higher, it does not mean that every single day is going to be higher. We could have a down day Monday. But the down day, if it doesn't blow down to the downside, if it's a small down day and we're still intact above this trend line, it's going to move up. We're in an uptrend. We're starting a new uptrend. Forces Metals, bullish engulfing. I like the bullish engulfing. I would be a buyer of Forces Metals right here for myself, and I might buy a little bit Monday. Fission 3.0. So this was a false bearish engulfing pattern. It moved on higher, 14%. I do own some Fission 3.0, and I did buy some down here at 7 cents. Centrus Energy coming over here. Looks good. Looks good to move on up. I think we're going to break here at some point and go into an uptrend. And remember, we're seeing this across the entire sector, so this is looking good. We had a little bit of a down day starting out, and it finished pretty strong, so not too bad for UEXCF. Uranium Royalty Corp, we're still grinding sideways. I kind of say that we're entering this dead period. I call it a dead period when the buyers equal the sellers. You have this downward move, a smaller downward move, a smaller downward move, and we're just contracting up. I think at any point here, we're going to see a big move higher. I've already accumulated my uranium royalty. I did accumulate a little bit more, and I accumulated here, and I think somewhere else in here. Lots of support down here too, which is good. And that's what I have for the day. I know I might have missed a couple, but uranium's looking really good. I'm a buyer. I've been adding in. I think we're going to move on higher if we have a weak dollar. If that dollar, which it broke the uptrend line, if we continue to get weakness, this could be a start of a big move. So if the dollar, because the dollar broke to the downside, it broke its uptrend line, it's moving lower. It may come back up a little bit to do a retest. Be ready for that retest. Because if the dollar retests, we might see a retest in some of these. They may come up, they may pull back, and you buy that pullback. That's a low-risk entry point for the next move up. I can't tell you how big this move is going to be, but we'll see. We'll see how big it is. It'll show us. And remember, we could see it move up and do a little pullback. That's normal. It's called a kind of a retest, backtest, and it may not backtest all the way. And we may not get one. We may just fire on. It's hard for me to tell. It's hard for me to know this stuff. I don't know the short term. I don't have a crystal ball. But looking at the charts and looking at history and the footprint that it's put down in history, it looks like they're digging into the ground and it's about to accelerate and run forward. So that's what I'm seeing. So everything looks good to me. And hopefully that's the case, that we head up higher here over the next weeks, months, maybe even 6 months or a year. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, don't know what you're waiting for, just click subscribe. It's pretty easy. And get these updates. And thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.